Natural carcinogens in the diet. What's in what you're eating? By Sonia Sharma. Purpose and objectives. Discussion of myotoxins and aflatoxins. How are carcinogens globally distributed? How does aflatoxin contamination affect human health? Which country is most affected by aflatoxins? What can be done to modify carcinogenesis in food? Compare carcinogenesis across the globe. Discuss the epidemiology of aflatoxin-induced liver cancer in Kenya. Table of contents. Naturally occurring toxins. Sources of carcinogens in foods. What is an aflatoxin? Aflatoxin impact on human health. World impact of aflatoxin-induced HCC, or liver cancer. MICE regulations across the globe. Incidence of aflatoxin exposure in Kenya. Dairy products affected by aflatoxins. How aflatoxins affect the food chain. Containment of aflatoxins. Naturally occurring carcinogens in food. Many believe that only processed or man-made food items contain carcinogens. However, this is not the case. Natural chemicals contained in plant cells and microbes have been linked to carcinogenic activity. Although some chemicals are not as potent as others, chemicals such as aflatoxin B1 prove to be high risk for human consumption. A myotoxin occurs from the metabolism of mold. 17 out of 45 myotoxins are naturally occurring in foods. Aflatoxins, methylaxanines, hydrazines in mushrooms, metabolites, animal and plant, fermentation, nitrates are naturally occurring toxins as well. What are aflatoxins? Found mostly in corn are maize and nuts, mostly peanuts. 4 out of 20 compounds are naturally occurring in food. These are B1, which is the most common, G2, B2, and G1. Aflatoxins are fungal toxins which are derived from some strains of Aspergillosis flavus. Aflatoxins can be present in black pepper, dried fruit, spices, cereals, and figs as well as some dairy products. A lethal dose varies between animals, is at about 0.5 to 10 milligrams per body weight. It is associated directly with liver cancer. How does this impact human health? Symptoms of aflatoxosis can vary in severity. Aflatoxins can cause HCC or liver cancer, liver dysfunction, and even death. Some common symptoms of aflatoxin poisoning are nausea or vomiting, stomach tenderness, convulsions, kidney damage, heart damage, or cerebral or pulmonary edema. Sources of carcinogens in foods. Aflatoxin can be found in corn or peanuts, and the species that were tested were mice and humans. Ethyl alcohol can be found in red wine and bread, once again being studied in mice and humans. Caffeic acid can be found in coffee, celery, cherry tomatoes, apples, and even carrots. Acetaldehyde can be found in bread, coffee, apples, and tomatoes. D-limonene can be found in mangoes and black pepper. World impact of aflatoxin-induced HCC or liver cancer. 40% can be attributed to Africa. North America is at 0%. Mediterranean at 10%. Latin America at 3%. West Pacific at 20%. Southeast Asia at 27%. Europe at 0%. Aflatoxin B1 is known to be the most potent aflatoxin. Aflatoxin B1 is definitely the most detrimental to human health, creating a natural liver carcinogen in humans. Africa is the most widely affected, being responsible for 40% of the world impact of aflatoxin-induced hepatocellular carcinoma. Areas globally affected by aflatoxin. This map shows some areas that are currently being affected by aflatoxin exposure. Cities across the globe are being directly affected by aflatoxin contamination. Global regulations of aflatoxin in maize. Below is a map distributing the global regulations across different countries. USA, China, France, Brazil, Mexico, Argentina, Japan, Taiwan, Korea, Egypt, Canada, Colombia, Chile, Algeria, Dominican Republic, Spain, and Malaysia, UK, and Egypt are some of these countries. Regulations are being implemented globally in order to contain the spread of aflatoxins, specifically in maize, according to foodsafetywatch.org. About 100 countries around the world have regulations that are governing aflatoxins in food, and most include maximum permitted or recommended levels for specific commodities. Incidence of aflatoxin exposure in Kenya. This was recorded in 2007. Below are some provinces and the median number of people affected. Aflatoxins have contaminated about 25% of agriculture across the globe. However, Kenya has had the most severe outbreaks of all of the countries affected by aflatoxins. According to YARD, Kenya has experienced multiple aflatoxosis outbreaks in recent years, often resulting in fatalities. More specifically, the serum aflatoxin B1 lysine was found in about 78% of the serum specimens studied in Kenya. Here is a table of the AFM1 levels of dairy products in Africa. The country can be Tunisia, South Africa, Nigeria, Sudan, Tanzania, Cameroon, and Kenya. Sample size, which can be 11 out of 15 in Tunisia, South Africa, which is 42 out of 42, Nigeria, which is 322, Sudan, which is 42 out of 44, Tanzania, which is 34 out of 37, Cameroon, which is 10 out of 63, and Kenya, which is 464. Below are distributed the levels in UG or kg. Many Africans are unaware of aflatoxin contamination in milk. According to Kangeth, 86%, more specifically 353 out of 412, of the feed samples from farmers were positive for aflatoxin B1 in a study conducted in Kenya between February 2006 and March 2007. Aflatoxins are directly affecting the food chain in Kenya. What livestock are fed directly impact human health. Formal pasteurizing methods are not used on dairy products consumed in most areas as well, leading to development of aflatoxins. Aflatoxin is a fungal toxin affecting the food chain. Susceptible crops, as seen below, can lead to poor storage, which further leads to animal consumption or human consumption, which then impacts dairy production or impact on human health. Containment strategies. According to ILRI News, Kenya is one of the world's hotspots for aflatoxins, with what is believed to be the highest incidence of acute toxicity ever documented. This country suffered severe outbreaks of illness from aflatoxins in 2004 and 2010, poisoning more than 300 people in the 2004 events alone, and killing more than 100 of them. Domestic animals that consume feeds contaminated by aflatoxin also can become sick and die. A containment method is being developed in order to stop this issue from continuing. Some of the containment strategies are controlling the amount of aflatoxins that are present in dairy products. Recent studies linked aflatoxins to child stunting in Kenya, so maize should not be consumed by pregnant mothers. Watching what the livestock is fed. Using biocontrol to reduce the amount of fungal contaminants in the crops. Thinking of feasible ways to determine if food is safe before consumption for both humans and animals, in order to avoid aflatoxins from entering the food chain. In conclusion, naturally occurring carcinogens are present in most people's diets. However, they are usually unaware. Most individuals believe that carcinogens in food are only due to unnatural causes. Natural carcinogens present a great health risk and is directly linked to HCC or liver cancer. Aflatoxins and liver cancer have a direct correlation. Sub-Saharan Africa is widely affected by aflatoxin exposure. Data analysis provides evidence that maize production in Kenya exacerbates the severity of aflatoxin exposure on liver cancer. Containment strategies are being developed in order to limit the amount of maize consumption and aflatoxin exposure through the food chain in areas such as Kenya. Thank you and goodbye.